Somebody gonna send me one of these? It's not even my birthday, but I would love
You already
that.
have one. You don't need another one.
I don't have one of these.
Well, you have a
That's a
Porsche and the
911
same
GT.
thing. Oh.
Yes. Beautiful.
I don't have one. I have an 8-year-old car that my husband
That a
dropped.
boat fell on.
A boat fell on my car.
It's got dents in it. Michelle deserves a new car.
You
we
know-
need to start a GoFundMe for
Yeah,
Michelle.
we do. But you know what? Do you remember last year when we had that really bad hailstorm?
Yeah.
And Logan used that place up in Lakeway.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna come pick me up next week because I'm taking it there. I sent pictures, and they think they can take the dent out.
Oh, cool.
So-
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're ready to go. Welcome to our live, everybody, and we're about to start recording our podcast. I think I got it ready to go. Are you ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
Deep breath. Here we go.
Where'll you be going?
Texas?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Go on, make it happen.
And now here's Steve and Michelle.
Howdy, y'all. It's Michelle and Mallet. Oh, wait, Mallet and Michelle. It's
Oh, my
Tariff
gosh.
Tuesday, where Steve Mallet is wondering if the price of his denim shirts are going to go way up, and Michelle wearing her Gulf of America shirt made in China.
Made in China. All my shirts are made in the USA. Good
All of
old
them?
USA.
All of them, Steve?
All three of them.
All 3 of them. That's pretty good.
I rotate through them.
That is
Never
pretty
wear the
good.
same one twice.
You know, actually, you're wearing a gray denim shirt today, so
I like this shirt. I
Yeah.
actually had a different shirt on, but then I thought it was too cold because it's been freaking cold. What is that? Like winter came back in the middle of April.
Oh, it was crazy. I was unprepared. I was in Dallas this weekend, and I was very, very unprepared. Very
Yeah, I
unprepared.
love it. I wish it would stay, but I know it's not going to.
I hate it. So today our guest is Patrick Fortner. I have known Patrick for a long time. He also has a YouTube channel, Red Mike Messages. He live streams. Also, he works in state government. We're not going to say who.
We're
which-
not supposed to talk
which
about that.
state
I
and
listened
which
to a
government.
couple of his episodes yesterday. He's actually got a really good voice, and
He has a
it's
very
very
good
interesting. It's a Red Mike Messages, and I listened to like 3 of them, and they were all really good.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a while now. We also need to thank our sponsors, Nomic Power
Solutions,
for
backup
sure.
power generation.
Backup
Apparently,
power.
they're killing it right now. Jovi Belterra, if you're 55 plus, that's where you want to live.
That's right. South Star Bank. I had cake with them yesterday. Some
Cake?
chocolate cake. I was going to bring you some, but then I was like,
Was it chocolate?
It was chocolate cake.
Oh, dang, yeah, I wish I
It
would
was
have had some.
chocolate on chocolate cake. And
Mallet
Mallet
Integrity
Integrity
Team.
Team.
Couldn't do it without them. They pay the bills.
they do pay the bills for sure. Steve, you know, it is kind of weird now that we are kind of all over the internet. We're on YouTube. We're on all the podcast platforms. We're
Instagram,
also Instagram,
Facebook.
and many different avenues. So not only our podcast, but Mallet Integrity Team, also Dripping Springs Elite Real Estate, and then there's, you know, your personal stuff and my personal stuff. Our face is just kind of everywhere. So there's this.
That's scary.
It is pretty scary. There's this website called Pimeyes, Pimeyes. I thought about it this weekend because when we were driving back from
Start that over. PIM.
Pim Eyes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Pimeyes,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I thought about it this weekend when Todd and I stopped at my favorite little place, Zuzu's, on the way back in.
Love me some
and
Zuzu's.
I got a call, said, you know, from the Be My Eyes. I've talked about this before. It's an app where I help somebody that's blind.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And so right in the middle of lunch, I stepped out and she was dyeing, it was so weird. She was dyeing beads to make necklaces, and so she goes, "What color is this?" And I thought, "Is this a trick question? Because you're blind." And I said, "Well, it's purple, like burgundy." And anyways, it was just kind of funny. But I was trying to explain to Todd what Be My Eyes was.
Okay.
And I ran across this website, and then I heard about it. I did some research called Pimeyes, and you can enter your photo, your personal photo, on this website, Pimeyes, and it will search the entire internet for every single photo of you that it is on the internet. And I did it for myself, and it's pretty flippin' scary.
What kind of stuff did you see that you didn't know was out there?
Well, like, obviously, you know, I know that, you know.
Is it like group shots that you were in that you didn't know you were in, or?
Yeah, well, like, I mean, it picked up Dripping Springs Elite. Obviously, it picked up a lot of our podcasts because we're all over the internet on our podcast. It picked up, like, I think a couple of my Facebook pictures that were like my Facebook profile pictures. But then there was like a picture that I didn't know where it came from. So I don't know if like somebody tagged me or I don't know. It's weird. But there is a way to opt out of this, right? So you can go in, you can go to the website and you can opt out. I don't know how exactly that works because there's also a paid portion where you can pay like $15 and it will show you more pictures and then it'll show you where you got these pictures from. God. Majority of these pictures, honestly, were from either like our
they were legit.
Mallet Integrity Team website or my LinkedIn or whatever it is. But I just thought that's creepy AF.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. We don't have our TV up.
Well, because I'm gonna do something else. I'm not showing you my cheat sheet yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I was gonna actually ask you to search mine, but
well, you have to take a picture. Well, after this, we'll do it, and you can sit here and you take your picture.
Okay, we'll do that. So Hays County was in the news, national news recently for something. When I heard this, I thought, no, that can't be right. Yeah. But the Tren De Aragua gang, they were based here in just east of Dripping Springs. I've heard off of Nutty Brown Road, and I've heard in Bear Creek neighborhood.
So were they based here, or because I heard that they were renting some short-term rental, and it was like some sort of.
I don't know if it was their base, but they were here. There was 47 illegal aliens who, and apparently at least 25 of them were suspected Tren De Aragua gang members that were arrested, and apparently they're going to be deported, but. The DPS was involved, ICE was involved.
FBI?
Yeah, FBI, U.S. Immigration was all, Homeland Security was there, obviously the Sheriff's Department.
They were only there in a support system, too.
But, I mean, it was a big raid, and they, some of them were minors. I think there was 25 adult males and 9 females, but they'd recovered some narcotics there, and those people are going to be all deported, but kind of scary, like right here in our backyard, because you know the Tren De Aragua gang got started in Venezuela. There's a town south of Caracas called Aragua, and there's a prison there, and this gang originated there. I don't know when, but
is Caracas where I'm going in November?
Are you going to Venezuela?
No, I'm not going to Venezuela. Caracas, isn't that like a little island? Like, isn't that?
I think you're going to Curacao.
Okay, you're right.
It starts with a C. Doesn't mean it's the same place.
Sorry, there's not a Four Seasons.
Well,
the Caracas.
Probably not in Caracas. That's pretty funny, Michelle. One of the reasons this is important is President Trump and Governor Abbott have both recently identified Tren De Aragua as a terrorist group.
Wow.
So there's a whole nother level of law enforcement that's involved in that.
Maybe they got wind that the H-E-B Nutty Brown had really good tortillas.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man, I'm not sure you could say that.
I just did.
But, okay, all right. Well, Tren De Aragua is involved in human smuggling.
Do Venezuelans eat tortillas?
Yes, they do.
Okay,
I don't know. Tren De Aragua, which they sometimes called TDA, is involved in human smuggling, human trafficking of women and girls, extortion, and drug trafficking.
That's what I've heard on the neighbors' pages, that people were, well, first off, all of the break-ins that were going in and car thefts in Belterra and down Sawyer Ranch, all of those. So they were wondering if those were connected, and then the sex trafficking or the human trafficking. I shouldn't say sex trafficking, but the human trafficking.
Here in our little sleepy town
off of
Dripping
Nutty Brown Road.
Yeah,
which
it's
was
scary.
Yeah, so
in response to these arrests and deportations, there's a couple of Austin groups that have been very vocal speaking out against that.
Let me guess.
Yeah, well, just tell me. There's a group called Mano Amiga and Austin Venezuela Association. They're saying that these arrests are leading to a climate of fear. And I would say, if you don't want to be in a climate of fear, don't join a freaking gang. These people are getting deported because they are in a gang, a violent gang.
And because they are illegal.
Well, yes, both.
And because they are illegal.
And I don't know if you remember, the very first time we heard Tren De Aragua was when they took over that apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. That's the same gang.
Oh, I didn't realize
so,
that.
you know, the way the borders were opened during the Biden administration, this is not this is a small pocket, but these pockets are all across the country.
I'm
of
curious
these
to
gangs.
see how more of this story plays out. Like, why here? How did they get here? What, like, the whole.
Well, I'm sure they
behind the
walked
scenes.
across the border.
So they just walked across the border to Dripping Springs and like, okay, this looks. I'm gonna rent.
Why wouldn't you come to Dripping Springs? It's an affluent community. We don't have a very high crime rate, so we're not, generally we don't have bars in the windows. We don't. A lot of us don't even lock our cars. I mean, I know people that never even lock their front door. We go on listing appointments sometimes, and I go, "Hey, I need a key for the front door," and they go, "I haven't locked the door in 20 years. I don't know where there's a key."
I know.
I mean, that's the kind of community we are. If you're a criminal, this is where you'd want to come. You're not going to go to a place where people are expecting you to be. It's not like
there's a big billboard, come to Dripping Springs. I mean, also the logistics of it. How did they get a house? Like, I have lots of questions. Like, how'd they get the house? How'd they rent it?
Well, maybe all that'll come out. I don't know. Apparently, right now, law enforcement's being pretty tight-lipped about it. They're not. There hasn't been a press conference or anything, other than how many people were arrested.
Well, also,
which is 47.
There's some controversy. Judge, I'm going to butcher his last name, Becerra,
Becerra, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay,
Hayes County Judge.
And he put out some statement about the Hayes County Sheriff's Officer, or the Hayes County Sheriff's Office, and then the Hayes County Sheriff's Office responded. And so there's this back and forth.
There's a back and forth. I didn't see that. Is that in the news, or is that just kind of hubbub?
It's all on social media. Yeah, I mean, he released something, and then, do you know that Hayes Caldwell Examiner, which is like a faux newspaper, nonpartisan? And those people are jerks. I'm sorry. They are just absolute jerks. And they're gotcha. They're gotcha journalism is what they are. So they were talking about it also. But yeah, this is very interesting. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know if I hear more news in the future. But right now, 47 gang members arrested right here in Dripping Springs.
That is scary.
Interesting times.
Well, not me. My gang color is pink.
Yeah.
My gang color is pink for sure. Steve, what do you know about microplastics in your brain?
In my brain, I know that, and this is all anecdotal, but I've read and I've heard on podcasts that the amount of plastics we have in our brain is just astronomical, and it's been going up because of how much we have in our food chain and in our houses, and plastics everywhere.
They're found everywhere. They're found in water, so even bottled water. There was like a study about bottled water and drinking out of it. It's like causing high blood pressure because of all of these microplastics. But they're found in food, air, even human blood and lungs. They're literally in the rain falling on the mountains.
Really?
In the deepest parts of the ocean, there's no escape from these microplastics, and they don't break down. So unlike these organic materials, plastic doesn't biodegrade. It just breaks into these teeny tiny smaller pieces, and it just goes on and lingers for centuries and centuries and centuries. But they also mess with our wildlife, their fish, birds, marine, and they mistake all this stuff for food. So not only what's in our body, but it causes, for them, it can cause blockages, starvations, and all this exposure.
Well, that's when it's bigger pieces of plastic. What you're talking about is microscopic pieces of plastic that get in your bloodstream and in your lungs. But eventually it can just build
up over time. And then when eaten, so now we're eating a cow, right? And then these toxins are moving up the food chain. So we're eating them. It's crazy. But they're saying all this research now, and it's really kind of changed the way I kind of do things. I got rid of all of my Tupperware-esque kind of, I only get the glass stuff.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird though, because the lids are plastic. So if you're heating something up.
Well, don't put the plastic. What I do is I put a paper plate on there. If I'm heating something, I take the plastic off. But you go into H-E-B, they're super convenient. They've got these bags of fresh vegetables that you can steam in the bag.
Oh.
Don't do that.
You know what? I never thought about that.
You know what? I fall prey to that sometimes. I come home, I'm tired, I got a little bag of broccoli. I'm like, and what I normally do is I open that bag, I dump it in a glass bowl, put some water in there, and I cover it with a paper plate, and I put it in the microwave for whatever, 5 minutes, and it steams it. But sometimes I'm tired and I just throw that in the microwave for 3 minutes, and it cooks that plastic, and I'm sure it's impregnating that stuff. I don't know if there's been any research done on that, but I know it's not healthy for
I
you.
haven't. I don't do that per se, and I don't really use the microwave.
Really?
I'm not a big microwave person, and it's not because I'm like on some stance of not to eat microwavable food. But I just think I was thinking back to when, like, I was a kid, or I don't know, 2 years ago, when I would take a styrofoam to go and I would stick it in the microwave, and it would be melted.
Or
and
like
I would just scurry it off.
I know, like a styrofoam coffee cup. Like you got half a cup of coffee left, and you stick it in there. You like nuke it for 30 seconds. I know. All this stuff. The more I know about our food chain, our food supply, the scarier it is for me. There's so much crap in our food.
Yeah, there really is.
Even that stuff that's. We were looking the other day at peanut butter, and it says all natural peanut butter, and you look at it, and it's got palm oil and sugar and natural. It's like all this crap in there, and natural. What I've discovered, all natural means absolutely nothing.
You know what?
Absolutely nothing.
Don't eat peanut butter because it's gross and disgusting.
No, peanut butter is good. There is one
Nutella.
peanut butter. You can't get organic peanut butter that doesn't have seed oils in it.
Don't you ever go make your own peanut butter? They do. You can do it at HEB.
But the peanuts are not organic, so it doesn't make any difference. I can get that in a jar. I can get regular peanuts. It's just peanuts by itself. Stop. I did not say that.
Say it really fast. Say it really fast. No, I don't know. It is kind of scary. I'm thinking about, like, my granddaughter now, and you know what's coming back? Our glass baby bottles.
I believe it. I think people are starting to wake up. There's a Joe Rogan podcast from a couple years ago about this woman that studies plastics in our food supply. And some of the stuff she claims, it's like, sexual dysfunction, shrinking genitals. I mean, like all these things that are directly caused
From peanuts.
From peanuts, from microplastics.
Micro peanuts.
Jeez. Okay. All right. Well, let's let that one go. Are you done with that story?
I'm done. I just was judging you on your cup, and you and I both have Yeti cups.
Yes,
so
we
they
do.
haven't. I don't know if they've come out and said
Well,
this.
the top is plastic, but I'm not heating it up. I don't put coffee in mine.
No.
What's the worst part of Founders Day for you? Besides the traffic.
Well, parking is not an issue because I park at your house.
Yes, and
or
walk
I
across.
park at the office.
Yeah. Nobody else can do that, by the way.
Yeah, nobody else
Just
can do
Michelle.
that. Call me, I'll give you his address. Gosh, the worst part of you know what? Okay, I will say I love every part of Founders. Kendall brought this up because Kendall's coming home for Founders, and she said, I said, we're going to be at this spot for the parade, blah, blah, blah. And she said, Mom, are we in the middle of Mercer Street? Can a car drive down there? And I said, Kendall, it's going to be the parade. Well, what about a parade float? Can they drive in there? That's what she's thinking.
Worried about, like a terrorist type thing? Or?
She's worried about everything.
Well, on a not as serious a level as that, I think the worst part of Founders Day is when it's 85 degrees and you have to go to the bathroom and you have to go to one of those porta potties that's been sitting out there for 2 days, and it's just disgusting. But guess what?
Oh,
there are going to be real bathrooms in downtown Dripping Springs.
Nice.
They're doing the I'm going to call it the first flush ceremony on April 17th at 4 p.m.
The first flush ceremony, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's going to be hosted by the Chamber of Commerce, and I have a press release here that I'm going to read. Are you ready?
Okay, did you do this press release?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
We're all flushed with excitement at the announcement and movement in DS. This doesn't just lift us from the bowels of a number 2 city. It plops us right into the royal throne as a prime seat for tourism. No more sitting in the shadows. We've been officially released from the clogs of obscurity, blah, 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 all flowing right into the spotlight. And that's number 1 to us.
That's a little disturbing. That's a little disturbing. But I am glad that they are bathrooms because I thought it was kind of ridiculous.
They're going to be real, like flushing toilets, running water. You can wash your hands. They're not compost toilets or any cheap things like that.
Is somebody going to be cleaning these?
The city. Yeah, they're going to have a regular crew that goes along there. They're located, for those of you that have been here in Dripping for a while, where the old post office was and Vintage Soul. There's a little alley there. That alley is going to be a sidewalk. Bathrooms will be on the right side. You can get back to the Stevenson building, which is being redone as a community center. They're a very historical building.
I used to park right there when my husband was part of the Masonic Lodge over there.
Oh, yeah.
That's for founders.
Yeah. So that whole area, they're going to do a parking lot eventually, and Stevenson building's getting redone, and the Masonic Lodge is slowly being redone. So I'm real proud of what the city's doing there. It's about time. These bathrooms have been like 5 or 6 years in the making. It's taken that long.
Why is it taking so long? Money?
Raising the money, doing the design, getting the approval. We had to approve it at the Historical Preservation Commission because it's in the historic district. Just going through all those, once you get the design approved, then it's got to go to engineering, and then you got to hire a contractor and get bids. All that stuff. So, but anyway, by Founders Day, those will be open.
Well, good. I look forward to peeing in the box.
Peeing in a real bathroom on Founders Day.
Yes.
That will feel weird.
Yeah, I guess I don't have to go on the side of your yard anymore when I'm
that green spot there?
Yeah, you're
or
welcome.
dead spot. I'm not sure which one.
You're welcome. It's all those microplastics.
Fertilizing the lawn.
So I ran across something that was super interesting, and maybe we'll see some of these people at Founders. Who knows? The 12 billionaires on the Forbes list that live in the Austin area. Isn't that insane?
That is crazy.
Obviously, the number one Forbes guy, Elon Musk, $386.9 billion net worth. He's 53 years old, and people know who Elon Musk is.
That's so much money. If just his pocket change fell out of his pocket, it could change your life and my life forever.
You know what's funny? I saw an interview with him yesterday, and he was obviously on some Zoom or some video, and he had everything blurred out behind him because he's probably in his home office, and it looked like crap. And I thought, you are worth billions of dollars.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Okay, number 17, Michael Dell. We all know who Michael Dell is. He's the chairman and CEO of Dell Technologies. He's 60 years old, $97.7 billion. I'll run through these pretty quick. Peanuts. Let's see. Number 230, Robert F. Smith. He's worth $10.8 billion. He's the chairman and founder of Vista Equity Partners. Then there's number 403, George Geba. He's the co-founder of Airbnb. He's worth $7.8 billion here. 475, Ty Lee, $7 billion CEO. And this is funny because I just drove down this and I was asking Todd, I wonder what that company does. And it's... is it the Garcia, like where you can, off of Mopac and Whataburger and Brody and Lowe's. Yeah, there's Whataburger.
That's how Michelle knows where things are at. Whataburger is right there.
And Lowe's on Brody, and there's like that secret road. Yeah. Okay, I think it's called SHI International. That's where that is located right there. 553 Joseph Lamant, $6.2 billion. It's the CEO of Trilogy Software. Here's one of near and dear to my heart, number 774, Bert, believe it or not, his last name is Beveridge, $4.7 billion. He's the founder of Tito's.
I've heard of him, yes.
Have you heard of Goodleap? The CEO of Goodleap? Mm-mm. So that guy, Hayes. Okay, here's another one. Here's a drip connection. Number 1,242, Jean-Paul DeJora.
Oh, you used to own a ranch out there off of Fitzhugh.
$3 billion net worth. He's the founder of Patron Spirits, but also he was Paul Mitchell hair products, he was a door-to-door shampoo salesman.
That's
how
funny.
He made his money.
Billions.
He sold his 96-acre ranch in Dripping Springs for $7.4.
That's a beautiful ranch, though. He had a bunch of exotics. Yeah, he
dollars.
had eland, and he had zebras, and I think buffalo.
Isn't that crazy? So this other guy, which I know, James Truchard, I have actually had lunch with James.
When's he coming on the podcast, Michelle?
Well, I don't know if Dr. Truchard would, but I should ask him. He's number 2,933. He's worth $1 billion, and he is the co-founder of National Instruments.
Oh, well, yeah.
Very nice gentleman.
So let me ask you
He's
this.
81, too.
Oh, wow. So you got $1 billion.
Yeah.
And you're 81 years old.
He was at the office
You could
all the
spend
day.
$1 million a day and still have plenty left
He
by
was
the time
very
you kick it.
accessible. Very
Yeah.
accessible.
If your net worth got to the point where its total started with a B, I would never get you to come to work. I would quit the next day.
If mine started with a T, I wouldn't come to work.
With 1,000, my net worth is $10,000. I'm out of here, Steve.
That's it.
I'm done. But I mean, it does. Like Elon Musk, 300 and whatever it is, $68 billion is like. Why does he get up and go to work every day?
Well, you know why? Because he's like my husband Todd. He's brilliant, and he has to keep his mind going.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would. I think maybe I'd try and pursue something else.
The
Like
youngest-
go make movies or go write a play or go learn music. I don't know. Like make yourself.
I don't know. Make a rocket and like a
Yeah. Okay. You're right.
Yeah,
you're
but
right.
the
Yeah.
youngest guy on the list is 42 years of age.
And he's a billionaire.
He's the managing
What the hell did
partner.
we do wrong?
Do you want it alphabetically or numerically? Because there's a lot
Start
of
with numerically.
You know what? Right now, with this stock market dip, now is the time to buy. And I
I bought some stuff today.
yeah, I was telling my husband, I was like, take a risk, do it,
Yeah.
do it. He set Nvidia at 90 yesterday, and this morning I go, it's 108. Did you buy it? And
Did he buy any?
No, he didn't buy any yesterday.
Oh man!
Yeah. So.
Well, it is a good time to buy. I think we probably hit the bottom of that. All those people are coming back to the table to talk about tariffs. So, well, I'm super excited to get Patrick Fortner in here and talk about his podcast and all the things he's got going on in his life. So sit tight. We'll be right back.